Coming up in this episode, expansion commitments from the Women's Super League, and also a couple of stories from St. George Illawarra. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Well, it's a new day and we've got some new news. Well, first of all, we're going to have a look at the plans for the Betfred Women's Super League 2024 and beyond, as there is some exciting expansion plans and more knowledge coming to the sport. So in a statement, the Women's Super League and the Rugby Football League have announced another significant step to development of the women's and the girls game, with the confirmation of a launch of two new regions, Midlands and North, to complete Tier 2 of a national pyramid. Cheltenham Phoenix, Coventry Bears, Leamington Royals and Telford Raiders will take part in the Women's Super League Midlands, playing one another at home and away before a top-of-the-table clash on Bank Holiday Monday to decide who will be crowned the inaugural champions of the league. Before the Women's Super League Midlands kicks off on the weekend, June the 10th to 11th, the Royals will have already dipped their toes into competitive action in Warrington, when on Sunday the 14th of May, they will take part in the annual Women's Nines tournament at Victoria Park. With that, the Coventry Bears are making their return to the women game, and this new regional league means that they can offer competitive games once again, much to the delight of the club, who have seen a surge of interest since the Rugby League World Cup. And though the Phoenix and the Raiders will be competing are completely new to Rugby League, it is said that both teams are relishing the opportunity that lies ahead. Women's Super League North will have a soft launch this summer with a series of matches between Newcastle and Workington, with the aim to produce and introduce a Scottish team in 2024. So we've got the Women's Super League, the Super League North, Midlands and South so far. The new second-tier competition has also led to a formation of the Southern Regions Cup, which will consist of any Midlands Super League teams or Women's Super League South teams not competing in the Betfred Challenge Cup. Fixtures for the competition group stages will be announced in due course. England women's captain Jodie Cunningham, who is also the RFL's Women's and Girls National Development Manager, says, "We're just days away from England women's first international game of the year, so this is the perfect time to announce the launch of these Tier 2 competitions. The regional competitions are such an important part of our plans for the development and growth of women's and girls rugby league. It's exciting to be part of it. The Midlands team have shown so much enthusiasm and passion, and it's fantastic to see the growth of rugby league in an area that isn't typically known for the sport. We're just at the beginning of our regional strategy, and we are always happy to support any new teams that would like to get involved in Women's Super League North or Midlands, including any rugby league union sides that would like to give league a go. I'd welcome anyone interested in to get in touch." The Rugby Football League's Head of Development, Thomas Brindle, explains, "The opening round of the Women's Super League Midlands fixtures will take place in June, and the intention is for the competition to become one of 4 feeder leagues into Betfred Women's Super League. The remaining 3 regions will be North, Roses and South. From 2024, the Betfred Super League on the women's side will expand to a single 8-team competition, underpinned by the 4 feeder leagues in the North, Roses, Midlands and South, establishing a pathway for ambitious clubs from all parts of the UK to earn promotion to the elite level. This is all part of the new national pyramid that was announced earlier this year, which will help us continue growing the women's and girls' game across the country, and we've already seen the benefits of this in the formation of the Southern Regions Cup. The competition will consist of a group stages and semi-finals, with the remaining two teams facing one another in a double header, which will be played alongside the men's Midlands final. It is an idea to expand the competition in a way, yes. There will be 40 regional competitions and the top Super League competition, which we don't know what the makeup of that is going to be at this moment in time. Some would expect that it will be 6 Super League clubs that are in there at the moment, and then 2 from the south. That will change over time. In my opinion, that might not be the situation because of travel situations and things like that. But at the moment, that's my thinking of how it will go. And the teams that are involved in it are probably in the Challenge Cup at this moment in time. Anyway, any teams that are interested in taking part in either the Midlands or the South competition should contact Jodie Cunningham at the rfl.co.uk. Let's get on it. Now on to the 2 stories from the St George Illawarra Dragons, as first of all, the National Rugby League today issued St George Illawarra Dragons player Francis Molo with a breach notice alleging a breach of the NRL Code of Conduct following an incident at his home on December the 17th last year. On March the 22nd, 2023, Molo entered a guilty plea at Port Kembla local court to a charge of stalking or intimidation with intent to cause fear of physical or mental harm. Molo was sentenced to an 18-month conditional release order and issued an apprehending violence order for a period of 2 years. The court, however, did not record a criminal conviction. The breach notice proposes a match suspension of 2 NRL competition matches in the Premiership to be served from the commencement of round 10 of the 2023 NRL Telstra Premiership. This also comes with a fine of 15,000 Australian dollars, with which 5,000 of it is suspended for 18 months. It's also required that Molo attends such education and training as is recommended by the NRL Education and Wellbeing Team. Molo is currently serving a 3-match suspension following the charge by the Match Review Committee on the 10th of April with a Grade 2 careless high tackle. The suspension has only 1 match left to serve during round 9. Molo has 5 days to respond to the breach notice, but his club have come out with a statement after this notice was issued. It said on their direct website, the Dragons acknowledge and support the penalty handed down to Francis Molo by the NRL today. Molo last month pleaded guilty to 1 charge of stalking or intending to cause fear of physical or mental harm. In electing not to record a criminal conviction, the judge noted Molo's genuine remorse for his actions. The Dragons take such matters extremely seriously. As such, Molo will undertake the NRL approved program relating to his behaviour. This program is tailored for each individual and conducted by an independent body. He will also have ongoing support from the Dragons' wellbeing staff throughout the program and moving forward. The club will continue to provide ongoing support and assistance to the Molo's family. It was an off-season to forget for the Dragons, as this is the latest of a series of off-the-field incidents plaguing the Dragons leading up to the 2023 season. The Dragons began the season without playmaker Talatau Junior Mone already being stood down by the NRL while he remained remains before the courts on an alleged hammer attack on a tradie south of Wollongong. The club had also fined Zane Musgrove and Michele Ravalawa after they were involved in an early morning argument outside the team hotel in Mudgee following the Dragons Community Shield loss. It's one of those that Anthony Griffin didn't want to have this type of pre-season, as his job was up in the air before the season even began and early into the season. The Dragons though played really well in their last game, only losing to the Roosters in a drop goal, 27 points to 26 game. And to end the episode, the Dragons have also been reportedly granted by the NRL a salary cap dispensation after the club requested to get Cody Ramsey's contract removed from this year's salary cap projections. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, the NRL have finalised its review into the request, deciding to make it an exemption in light of the fullback's unique situation. Earlier this month, the Dragons met with the NRL power brokers in a desperate bid to hand salary cap relief for Ramsey, who had undergone multiple surgeries since his hospitalisation with ulcerative colitis in November of last year. In the statement, according to the Dragons General Manager of Football, Ben Harron, Cody was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, an inflammatory bowel condition, in late 2022, which required an extended stay in hospital. This means Cody will not be available to play in the 2023 season. Our focus will be on Cody's medical rehabilitation and well-being in the first phase. From there, we'll look towards what the future looks like for him. As per NRL rules, relief can be granted to a club for a player who is forced into retirement through injury, or if an injury has been suffered while playing at the representative level. Although Ramsey's situation doesn't fit the criteria as it stands, the NRL has apparently made an exemption for the Dragons, who are adamant they will pay the 23-year-old until his contract expires at the end of the 2024 season. According to the report also, the Dragons cannot use the relief to upgrade a top 30 player and need to replace Ramsey with someone deemed to be a like-for-like replacement. Prior to being struck down with the disease, Ramsey was Griffin's number one choice at fullback and remains part of the club's plans moving forward. The Dragons are currently 14th on the ladder with 2 wins in their 7 matches and will go on to face the Bulldogs at Wollongong on Sunday, with the kick-off scheduled for 4 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, as it's open for business. And what do you make of all the goings on at St. George? Is it just one of those years where a confluence of events? Or is it the mentality of the players that are getting in the way of themselves? Anyway, also Women's Rugby League in the Northern Hemisphere is expanding. 8-team Super League, 4 tiers to supplement it belowhand. That's a good way to do it, I think. Anyway, by the time that this sorts out, it might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing, we'll have to see. But expansion is there. Thank you so much for watching yet again, and I do appreciate every single one of you that do. I hope you don't take it as disingenuous that when I say that, but I truly do. Thank you so much. Please remember though to share this video worldwide. Now end the episode as you always do by wishing you all the very best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.